All right, we're recording.
Perfect. Okay. So let's get an order of who goes first, second, third, fourth, and fifth.
We could either just do it how you set it up in the comments, or does anybody have like a preference on going first or anything?
I was gonna say kind of how the how you posted it on the chat.
Hmm.
Kind
Yeah,
of
that
Uh-huh.
seems perfect.
perfectly laid out.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Um, okay. Well, I think and then do we want to give the 2 minute warning at 10 minutes or 2 minute warning at 15 for our interview? Because
Mm.
it says each person should take like 10 to 15 minutes. So it's up to you. Probably two at 10.
Yeah, I feel like each interview would probably last 10 rather than 15. I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like that sounds more reasonable.
Yeah, or I think maybe play it by like where we are in the questions. Like if, at 10 minutes, there's still one, at 8 minutes, if there's still two questions left, um then hold off and do the 2 minute warning at 15 if they're not wrapped up by 15 minutes. Does that
Okay.
sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, so just generally we're gonna be like, hey, 2 minute mark at the 8 minutes, right? And then if we need to extend it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd say if we're not halfway through the questions by 8 minutes, then hold off and do it um at 13, unless they wrap up before then, and then it's no big deal, right?
Okay.
Hmm.
Um, okay. I think that's it. Should we just get to it?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. All right. Then Alyssa. Hi, Alyssa. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice
Thank
to
you
meet
for
you.
thank you for taking the time to meet with me today.
Of course.
Um, let's start with your first question.
My question for you is what makes you qualified for this position?
So the position I'm interviewing for is event planning in the bridal industry, and I consider myself to be highly qualified for this. I am a communications major, and I'm about to receive a few different degrees for that, as well as I've worked at Trudy's Brides and Special Occasions for a little bit over a year and a half, where I specialize in working with brides, prom, mother of the bride, wedding guests. So I'm very well versed in the bridal industry. Um, the main thing that makes me qualified is that I do have hands-on experience working with brides, and my job does involve a lot of communication, building trust, and knowing what the bride needs. So I would say that I'm pretty qualified for this.
Nice. Congratulations, by the way, on graduating.
Thank you.
Yes.
What are the biggest challenges you face in your job and how do you overcome and mitigate them?
So, in an event planning setting, I think the biggest challenge for me would be just the stress that brides face. Because there's just so much that runs through their head, like timing, you have to schedule out how far in advance you want the wedding to be. In my experience, I know how stressful wedding dress shopping can be. You just have a lot on your mind. You have the styles, the size, ordering, that all is taken into account, and that's just one small piece because brides also have to focus on vendors, caterers, floral arrangements, venues. So I think the biggest challenge is just when a bride is very stressed out, using my experience, trying to build trust with them, and using my knowledge and how timing works to really just calm them down, let them know that we have a schedule, that everything will fall into place, and to make them feel really secure and confident when it comes to their big day.
Great. Walk me through your event planning process from start to finish.
So, if I'm meeting with a bride, I would start by sitting down with them one on one, face to face, making sure it's in person, again, to just really build that trust. Since this is such a big part of their life, it's usually the most special day of a person's life. I really want to be someone that they can trust, that they can turn to, that they can tell all of their worries, their thoughts, their hopes to. So, I would start with that, just sitting down and then talking through what their visions are. I would ask for them to bring maybe some photos of what they would want for like, again, catering, venues, or just, yeah, photos or like a mood board, vision board, or anything like that. Because I think that communication really is key in an industry like this, but having that visual also plays a big part. And if I know what they specifically are looking for, that helps me bring their ideas to life. So I would start with that, and then we would plan out our schedules, talk about how many like times we want to meet, if it's per week, per month, how far out their wedding is, that's a big question, if they've already found a dress. So really just a lot of timing stuff, walking through all of that with them, and I would also put them on a shared calendar and a shared spreadsheet so they can see all of the work I've done, um, giving them the time frame again of when things need to be done by, and then also including them on any emails of if I'm reaching out to vendors or anything like that for them. And then the wedding, of course, I'd want to hear how it goes. And then stay in contact hopefully after that because trust is a big thing for me and I would want to build bonds that last forever.
So,
Very nice. And final question, Alyssa, what tools or systems do you use to stay organized when managing multiple events?
Kind of leading back to the last question, the big ones for me would be having a spreadsheet that lists every single person, company, or organization that we need for the wedding. Um, so yes, spreadsheets and also making sure that they're informed on that. Also having a shared calendar as well, like I mentioned, just making sure that we both can see either if it's me and the bride, if it's other people, just making sure they can see what the thought process is, that they know everything that's being planned out. Um, and then the last thing, um, I would use a lot of emailing, also like CCing them on any emails, again, like I said in my last question. But yeah, those are the big three for me.
Nice, full transparency, it sounds like. That's
Yeah,
wonderful. Wonderful policy.
thank you.
and is there anything else you'd like us to know?
Mm, while I haven't had much experience in event planning yet, I feel like I would do very well in this industry just because of my background, like I mentioned, in communications and in the bridal industry. And I feel like I'm the type of person that would fit really well in this role because I find myself to be a very empathetic person. I try to understand people as best as I can, and I feel like I can read them. Um, so I think that all of these like kind of factors and um, key components of myself would really make me a good candidate for this position.
Great. Well, we'll be in touch, Alyssa. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, next in line is
And we
Greg.
had about 3 minutes to spare almost on that. So it sounds like 10 minutes should be enough for most of us.
Okay.
Okay, cool. And then also, who wants to do my introduction? Because I won't be able to do that.
I can do it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
When we get to my interview. Okay, Gretel. Hi, Gretel. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
All right, Mara. Oh, you're on mute, Mara.
What makes you qualified for this position?
So what makes me qualified for this position is I am transferring, earning my degree in a transfer and business degree, West Valley. During the course of West Valley, I have taken a couple of computing classes, which has helped me get to know like softwares and different types of computer systems that people use for data analytics. And then as well, I did get a certificate also with West Valley, but through Google. They provide a Google Data Analytics program, which is free, which is really awesome. I got to learn about SQL, Python, many different coding programs. So I got to get a little bit of hands-on with different cases and databases that they provided.
Great. Um, what are the biggest challenges you face in your job and how do you overcome or mitigate them?
I would say some difficulties that one comes from data analytics would be having to uncode many more like so messy data sets. Sometimes it's all over the place, which is where we go ahead and step in, we clean it up, we visualize it, and we analyze it to ensure that it is properly done, properly finished, and all clean for execution. Um, I like to overcome this by taking my time. It's very important when you are doing coding because one code can, just take you to the completely wrong turn that you don't want to go to. So also it's very important that as starting and continuing, you ask questions from your group, your company. If you're stuck, if you're feeling not sure and you don't want to risk a bad turn, definitely relying on your sources that you have.
How do you stay current with the new tools, technologies, and trends in the data analytics field?
So right now with the use of AI, I will say has taken definitely a turn with it. Um, it is much easier for people to start using AI, but I would say learning how to adapt with AI and knowing things that AI can't do as simple as data analytics. So um, when it comes to new systems that come out, it's really just about playing around with it, kind of like any other app that someone downloads. You start to get to know the systems, start to get to know how to move along and how to move efficiently with what is coming out. And staying up to date is also very important because you don't want to set back and kind of be using old systems. That will only slow you down versus newer systems help you a lot. So it can fasten your speed and timing, being able to work on different data sets.
Very nice. And then how do you ensure the ethical use of data and protect user privacy in your work?
I think this is very important. I'm sure no one wants to have their data out there. I wouldn't either. Um, I would say every company is a little bit different. So what you need to understand is the ethical terms from the company that you are going to start working with. It's very important to understand how they use the data and how they will put away the data. So something that I learned from Google Data Analytics and the program that I was taking is that you have that data for a certain period of time, and after that, it goes into like a safe. It depends how the company works and how they use it. But once you're done with your data set and your codings and you clean up your visualization, you just kind of put it in a folder and just for like purposes of privacy and security, you don't touch it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for
Right.
that. That's enlightening.
All right, Gretel. Well, thank you for joining us today and we'll be in
Thank
touch.
you.
All right. Okay, Mara, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
What makes you qualified for this position?
What makes me qualified for this position is that I'm currently studying kinesiology and communications here at West Valley, and I'm looking to get my associates. I'm currently taking prereq courses for physical therapy schools such as anatomy and human biology. Communications is helpful because it gives me the tools I need to communicate with coaches, players, trainers, and parents. And I also have a background in coaching, so I know how sports work and what it's like to be an athlete.
Very nice. What are the biggest challenges that you face in your job, and how do you overcome or mitigate those?
One challenge that I could face in this job is demanding schedules. There's lots of physical work being on the field, dealing with a lot of athletes, and there's going to be long hours. And you're also forced to be flexible with games and practices because it's constantly changing. One way I can deal with this is staying organized and having good time management, and also having teamwork using the people around me. Also, communication is really important, being in contact with coaches and players, knowing who needs treatment. Something else that's hard is the mental and emotional part of injuries of athletes. They can be frustrated and feel pressure to return. And one way I can deal with this is being honest and realistic about recovery times and carefully listening to them, and set small, achievable goals for them throughout the recovery process, and also encourage them to stay connected to their sport.
Very nice.
What interests you in working with athletes, and how has your sports background influenced your approach to physical therapy?
What interests me about working with athletes is that they're extremely hardworking. And as an athlete, it gives me an opportunity to stay connected to the sports environment. And the reason why I chose physical therapy is because I had an injury a couple years ago, a season-ending injury, and I had to go through a whole process of like having to learn to walk again, and I really messed up my ankle. And throughout that process, I learned a lot through my physical therapist, and it's something that I want to do to be able to help other athletes to get back to playing.
That's great. My question is, how do you assess a patient's condition and determine the most effective course of treatment?
Well, the first thing I would do is I would start by asking them questions. So, where's the pain? When did it start? How did it happen? Figure out how much training and their workload. Then I would observe. So, I'd look at the area, look for bruising or swelling, see how they move. I check for range of motion. So, how far can they rotate or extend? And then check for strength and stability. Then I check for function. I'd see I'd watch their movements and how they move in their sport. And then I try and figure out what's causing the pain. Is it poor mechanics? Is it overtraining? Is it mobility restrictions? Then I'd build a treatment plan based on the specific athlete, depending on how severe the injury is and what they need. And this treatment can include mobility work, strengthening exercises, stability training, and movement retraining. And then throughout the rehab, I would reassess and monitor their pain levels, the strength, and their mechanic improvements.
Okay, great. And is there anything else you would like us to know about you, Mara?
No.
Okay, great. All right, thank you for joining us today.
Okay, and then
Real quick, Gretel, I didn't ask that at the end of your interview. So, is there anything else you would like us to know about you?
I mean, all I would say is, I'm excited to see what continues ahead.
Perfect. Okay, so should we switch? Does it say how long this recording has been going on for?
mm,
Mhm.
there's no like countdown or anything, but
Okay.
it still says 40 minutes at the top, so I'm assuming it will end at 8:55.
Okay, because what I am a little nervous about is if we start off my interview and then we get cut off
Yeah.
midway. So if it
Do we
just
want to
makes
just
sense
jump
for us
into the
to hop
second
over
one?
to the other one right now.
Yeah, we can
So
do that.
we're gonna do Mara's since she sent us that one first. And then and then I'll post real quick all the rest of the questions in the in the chat over there, and then we'll finish up. Sound good?
Wait. So are we hopping into the one that Gretel sent?
Yeah, the one Gretel. No,
Okay.
the one Mara sent. Mara sent us one first, right? Or
I
is
did
that?
not get one from Mara. I
Oh,
don't
she
think.
may have just replied to me then.
Sorry.
Okay. That's okay. So if the one that we all see Gretel's, then we'll yeah, she just replied it to me. Okay, so we'll hop into to Gretel's, and then I'll get the rest of the questions posted on that chat.
Okay.
Sound good?
Okay. See
All
you
right,
guys
see you in a
there.
minute.